God, next time you get a board that can handle the Neutron style. Later.
Jimmy Neutron is back with the worst takes ever. Now you all know the classics, right? Jimmy Neutron being fully convinced that Halo Infinite was gonna come to PS5 and then it didn't, and being fully convinced and, you know, saying since day one that Starfield is gonna come to PS5, and, you know, it still hasn't. But now we can add a new little rumor from him to the list. Now he is convinced that Gears of War 6 is gonna come to the PS5 Pro. He is convinced that a game that hasn't even been announced yet is gonna come to a console that hasn't even been announced yet. Now before I play the clip and like respond to it, I do quickly have to give credit to Astro Cyborg, who is the person who like takes all these clips and puts them on his Twitter, because that's where I got this one. And yeah, I don't know, thanks man, thanks for posting Salt. It's really cool of you.
I have for Gear 6. Will this be a multi-plat release? If they're just 1 year into development, I don't really see a reason to lock this to Xbox and PC. By the time it releases, multi-plat Xbox Studio games, that'll be pretty normal, I would think.
Of course Gear 6 will be day and date, because why not? I don't know. Just because like 3 games, okay, came from Xbox to PS5, and more games are definitely gonna come. That doesn't mean that Gear 6 or future games will launch day and date. I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer even said that games will at least be like on Xbox for a year before going to other consoles, but it go off, I guess. Right? It's not like we care about accuracy on the Reforge gaming channel.
But that makes for a brand new question. If the Coalition made the decision to make Gear 6 this visually intense, cinematic 30 FPS game, you know, all those PR things we're being told about Hellblade.
Boys, remember, Xbox games at 30 FPS? Bad. PlayStation game at 30 FPS? Good. Amazing. Masterpiece. Just for the record, 30 FPS is always shit. It's never okay.
Would that fly with consumers on a PS5 or a PS5 Pro in 2027 or 2028? And would that be an opportunity for a game to maybe be 60 FPS on the PlayStation platform, but not on the Xbox? Like, maybe just the PS5 Pro, okay?
Yes, guys, because it totally would make sense for Xbox to make sure a game runs at 60 FPS on the rival's platform, but not on their own platform. I know everybody's been saying that there's like a pattern. There's a pattern, guys, of Xbox games only running 30 FPS on their own console. Redfall, Starfield, Hellblade. It's like Redfall is a game that runs at 30 FPS because it just doesn't run. It's buggy as shit. It's broken. Starfield is a game made by people who are known for their technical incompetence when it comes to making games. And Hellblade is visually the greatest game of all time, and therefore obviously doesn't run as well on an Xbox as it does on better hardware like a PC. But a game like Gear 6 should definitely be able to run at 60 on an Xbox, unless they, you know, make it as fucking high-end on the graphics side as Hellblade, but I don't think they're gonna do that. Everybody seems to forget that other AAA games, Xbox exclusive games like the Forza series and Halo Infinite, all run at 60 FPS.
Jez Corden recently claimed on a podcast that Kate Rayner, the vice president and technical director at the Coalition, she now runs her own division, and what she's doing is she's helping other Xbox studios get the Coalition level with the Unreal Engine. So they're basically like, listen, we know all this great stuff about the Unreal Engine. We're going to now develop essentially a team to help other studios do the same thing. Now, this could be part of the multi-plat strategy.
How is that part of the multi-plat strategy? Them making a team to have games, you know, perform better? Why is the first thing you think when you hear that is like, oh, they must be doing it so they can make the best version of the game for the PS5, and not, oh, they're probably doing that so games will run better on the Xbox Series X, which would make way more sense. I get that you desperately want Gear 6 on the PS5 Pro for some reason, right? But you don't have to make up all this bullshit to create a weird little fantasy world where that game's gonna come to PS5 day and date and run better on it.
Another question hanging in the air is the 30 FPS and the 60 FPS situation a parity issue for first-party Xbox studios? Every Xbox first-party game has launched either 30 FPS on both or 60 FPS on both, and when the 60 FPS update came to Redfall, it came to both consoles. So let's say that John Linneman is correct and Gear 6 gets a great performance mode, but what if it only works on the Series X? Would Xbox allow that? What if it only works on the Series X and the PS5 and the PS5 Pro? What about the PS5 Pro? It's literally designed to give you more frames in really pretty modes like 4K modes and ray tracing. Would they let an Xbox first-party game tap into the greater power of the PS5 Pro?
Why are we even talking about this? Why are we even talking about a game that hasn't been announced, and the only thing we know about it is that it's been in development for 1 year? And why are we talking about it potentially coming to a console, the PS5 Pro, that also has not been officially announced? We also know barely anything about. And from what I can tell, nobody besides PlayStation fanboys are even excited about it. Everybody just seems to be questioning why there's even coming a PS5 Pro at this point. When, you know, the PS5 doesn't even have any games, really, let's be honest. Like, the PS5 just has a bunch of remakes and games that you can play at better performance on your PC. Also this shit about like, oh, but it's gonna give you better frames for the ray tracing and the 4K. It's like, dude, we heard this same shit with fucking the base PS5, which was gonna be able to play games at 8K, which was a fucking lie. It can't, and it had like a revolutionary SSD, which is just a normal SSD. So please stop bullshitting, please shut the fuck up, stop trying to, like, I don't know, make up this fantasy world where all the franchises you want to come to PS5 are coming to PS5 and playing magically better on the PS5.
With the success of Helldivers 2, I can't help but look at Gears and think, all right, it's your turn now. They're the ones that gave us Horde Mode, which has influenced a bunch of other games. Just the term Horde Mode, right? That's from Gears of War. It's time for the granddaddy of the Horde Mode to bring something amazing to the market.
Look at how excited he is, bro. Look at how happy he is. He desperately wants to play this game. Like, look at how fucking excited he is just talking about a new Gears of War game. He wants that shit. He wants it. And he's gonna be so fucking sad and devastated when he realizes that the game is probably not gonna launch day and date. Actually, I'm willing to bet money on the fact that Gears of War will launch exclusively, well, not exclusively, but will launch on Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and on the PC. And maybe 1 or 2 years later, it will come to PS5, but it will not launch day and date, dude. I mean, it honestly makes so much sense why this guy makes crazy videos like this, claiming that almost every single like Xbox franchise is coming to PS5. He's a fan, he wants to play these games, but he just doesn't want to play them on Xbox for some reason.
The prediction. I actually believe Gears 6 will be a multi-plat release. Numerous leaks and insiders are claiming that in-process projects have been switched to non-Xbox exclusives.
Oh, here we go with the insiders again. Yeah, so Reforge Gaming claims to have like a lot of insiders, right? He talks to people in the industry all the time. And people in the industry have been telling him for years that Starfield is going to come to PS5, and it still hasn't, and probably won't for like at least another year or two. Reforge Gaming even has been called out on Twitter by people literally going like, hey, you need to shut the fuck up. You don't have any sources over at Bethesda. I don't know why you keep talking about these inside sources of yours, but you don't have any. So whenever this guy mentions insiders or sources or whatever, just know it's bullshit. He doesn't know anybody. But anyway, boys, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.